Doing today, everyone? My name is Leslie Gallagher, and I'm joined by
Jake gets.
and
Jalen Davis.
and
Cameron Martin.
that's probably my favorite part of the show is just introducing everybody. I think it's so fun. We got everyone in our virtual studio today. Today is February 26th. Oh my God, we are 3 days away from March, and
Oh
I feel like that
man,
came up so quickly. I
that's
don't know.
weird.
Is it
That
just
was a
me?
month that happened a while ago.
Yeah, because I guess because we started school in like early February, so it's kind of like surreal. I feel like I don't know. March
Ugh.
Yeah,
is a worse month, according to our producer, Kenny Horn.
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
if I completely
I
disagree.
feel like there's worse marches. No, there's only one March. That can't be
You know what
better
sucks
or
about
worse
March, though,
marches.
is that it's still
What?
cold, but it should be warm. And it's just
Exactly.
that
Yeah,
weird in between, stage.
yeah, spring and yeah, winter.
And
Yeah.
But at least
also,
it's like at least there's an end in sight.
and also in terms of school, there's not many breaks. Like
That's
Mm.
true.
historically. Obviously, we
Yeah.
don't have spring break this year. It's
Yeah. No spring break this year. It's probably
obvious
for the
reasons.
better.
I remember that.
Obvious reasons.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Well, anyways, Jake, what are we talking about today? We got a lot going on in the world.
Today, we are
Yes,
going to
today.
talk on the Morning Buzz about the US strike in Syria, coronavirus vaccine updates, and a never before seen Vincent van Gogh painting. But
Ooh la
first,
la.
here
Sorry.
is our newscast with Jalen.
In international news, according to NBC News, Senate ruling says the Democrats can't pay $15 minimum wage in COVID relief bill. An overall ruling in the Senate on Thursday had to deal with a severe blow to the Democrats' hopes of increasing the minimum wage in the COVID-19 relief package. The quote-unquote House in referee ruled that the request was not compliant with the rules. Next, in other national news, according to ABC News, Biden travels to Texas to survey winter storm damage. President Joe Biden plans on traveling to Houston on Friday to survey the people affected by the damage from the winter storm last week that has left millions in Texas without drinking water and without power. And in other national news, according to ABC News, some school districts are requiring struggling online learners to get back in the classroom. A lot of struggling students are being told to return back to the classroom or withdraw from their district. A mandate will be issued by more than 200 districts in Texas and elsewhere in recent months. The move has drawn complaints from some parents that lack compassion for students navigating the difficulties of remote school. And for today's weather, we have mostly sunny skies with a high of 45 degrees and a low of 28 degrees, with winds up to 5 miles per hour. Today, we have humidity of 48%, sunset at 5:44 p.m., and a cold night. This concludes your news update for February 26, 2021 for WMSC. I'm Jalen Davis.
Awesome, Jalen. And it's funny, we were just complaining about weather, and it's
Mm-hmm.
actually been pretty nice lately.
Hi, that was a global warming.
I know it's actually really crazy, but
It's
I guess you can't
pretty
really
weird.
complain about sunny weather, but it's also like
It just like
climate
jumps from
change.
cold to warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that the sunny weather's here, we could play sports.
Oh,
Exactly.
yes, we can play sports. Speaking
Yes.
of sports, Cam, you got our sports cast today?
I got Sportscast for today. All right, so in NFL news, Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson has been linked with trade rumors. Teams that he considered would include the Dallas Cowboys, the Chicago Bears, the New Orleans Saints, and the Las Vegas Raiders. He did, however, not request a trade. NHL news, Anders Lee and Matt Barzal had a combined 4 points for the Islanders 7 last night in their victory over the division-leading Bruins. TJ Oshie gave us the goal of the year last night in a 5-2 Capitals victory against Pittsburgh. I was very offended because I am a Penguins fan, but it was a very impressive goal. He also added an assist to Lars Eller. Pavel Zacha was responsible for a two-piece, including a game winner for those Devils against the Buffalo Sabres. The defending champs took for the ice. Curtis McElhinney made it a phenomenal save in the second period to ensure the Lightning did not give him any more points. The save sparked a 3-goal surge for the Lightning to cool off the Hurricane. In the NBA, Zion Williamson had a phenomenal 34-point performance. But the questionable possession at the end of the game cost the Pelicans the game. The Bucks are 2 games out from taking the top spot of the conference. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 38 points. One of those teams ahead of the Bucks and the hottest team in the East right now took to the floor. Kyrie Irving dropped 27 as in the Nets' blowout victory against the Magic. The Nets are surging. They have 8 straight victories. And the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference took on those Mavericks down in the city of brotherly love. It was really a dunk contest down there because all the highlights I saw were literally just the Sixers just dunking. They won the game 111-97, but Tobias Harris, one of their most important parts for the team, left the game due to a knee injury. He has an MRI today and hope all goes well for him. And the Nuggets and Wizards are in a tight game. Jamal Murray grabs a rebound and goes down the court, puts Washington in a 3-1 fast break situation. There is nobody in the paint. There is less than 10 seconds in the game, and they try to go for the win. They miss horribly. Bradley Beal had 33 points. It was enough to give the Mile High City. It was enough for Washington to get the Mile High City victory. In college hoops, UConn women claimed the Big East title last night, an 81-49 victory over Creighton. The star of the game was Creighton's guard, Timmy Carter. She did everything as the number 1 team in the nation. And Corey Kisper's 25 points helped the number 1 men's team, Gonzaga, secure their 50th straight home win in an 89-75 victory. Speaking of college hoops, it is game day, Red Hawks. The women's team is back in action, 5 p.m. inside the Panzer Athletic Center to take on those Gothic Knights of Jersey City. Do not miss the action. Tune in right here. Tune into Red Hawk Sportsnet or right here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Tip off at 5 p.m.
Yes, if you're interested, you can definitely tune in. And thank you, Cam. That was pretty awesome sportscast. And big apologies because I totally forgot to do it last week with you. But you seem so passionate about sports. I promise I'll never forget. That was so interesting. And I don't even, watch sports really. But the way you talk about it is so interesting.
Thank you.
Of course. Anyways, we've got a pretty serious first story, so I'm going to hand it over to Jake to give us the facts.
Let's get into this. So, we have a story from the AP, but it's being covered everywhere. Militia official, U.S. strike in Syria kills 1 and wounds several. A U.S. airstrike in Syria targeted facilities belonging to a powerful Iranian-backed Iraqi armed group, killing 1 of their militiamen and wounding a number of others, an Iraqi militia official said on Friday. The Pentagon said the strikes were retaliation for a rocket attack earlier this month that killed 1 civilian and wounded a U.S. service member and other coalition troops. But I think there was also a quote somewhere in the AP article that said they couldn't for sure say that was linked to Syria. Or anything there.
Interesting. So they weren't sure about.
Yeah, like it sounds like they didn't really know. Kirby said had Tuesday that the Iraq is in charge of instigating the February 15th attacks. He added that the U.S. officials were not then able to give a certain attribution to who was behind these attacks. So interesting.
That is very interesting.
And yeah, so it's pretty crazy to see. This is like the first military action taken by the Biden administration. And yeah,
kind of a big deal.
it's pretty whack.
From the article that that we were reading before, it seemed like the big thing about the Biden administration was they have a big focus on protecting the U.S. So I guess that was a motivation for this.
Yeah, but
that's not the right way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about, protecting a country. I've never been in that position, but I'm not for violence, if it's unnecessary.
I feel like violence is never the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no, it's very strange. And I believe there there was some more information on it. Well, actually, no, information on it's very limited at the moment.
Yeah,
But
that's what it seems like when I was
It-
reading it. It seemed like not like vague, but I was just
yeah,
like,
it's just like it
It-
happened.
okay, but why?
Yeah,
It's
that's the thing that's
just-
funny with news coverage sometimes. I remember on January 6th, it's just like they're like, hey, they're in
Oh
the
my God.
Capitol, and it's like, oh,
Exactly.
and you're like
It's
waiting
just-
for more information. Yeah.
That
it's
was
What's up,
insane.
Cam?
it's just so fresh. It literally just happened last night. So like
Yeah.
we're still
They won't have much news coverage on it.
yeah we're still as we speak they're still trying to figure out what went down, what's the
Exactly.
situation, and it's like why now, you know,
Mhm.
like don't get me wrong, the Donald Trump administration, we know we're not the less said about him the better, but at the same time for this to happen not even a month into Biden's administration, just like yikes. It just puts things in perspective. Like, yeah, I'm always for protecting America's rights, always for that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we can't, sit down and have a conversation about this.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
we can't be adults in the world. That's what really is concerning to me. We can't just sit down and really just be adults at a table and just have a conversation to figure things out.
I wish it was handled like that more often. I wish it was like, I feel like their defense is like it's not that simple, but I feel like it could be.
could
Like,
be.
I don't know.
Definitely could be. Especially
If everyone just worked together.
yeah, no.
Not happening.
Not
Listen,
I
happening.
wish.
You gotta remember, at the end of the day, it's human lives that are being taken.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter the color, ethnicity. It does not matter. They're still
Nationality.
human beings. Yeah, their morals might be different, but at the end of the day, they're still human beings.
Exactly. And especially with the pandemic going on, I feel like so many lives are being taken as it is.
Yeah.
That more fuel to the fire, and we're literally all going through the same thing right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I studied world history briefly in high school, but I don't think there's ever been a time in history where like this has been like this, where everyone in the world is relating to the same thing. Like that's pretty crazy. There's so many of us.
A close second might be the world wars.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a close second.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
even a different situation too, because everyone has sides in this. At least
Exactly.
in this pandemic, we're obviously all against Corona. Like no one wants this. We're in a world war. It's like we're against each other. But the world together is fighting, and of course it was made political. Of course we know that, but I feel like it's a time to work together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Already going through Corona, like we just need to relax.
Yeah, everyone needs to find their chill.
I'm saying.
But anyway, speaking of the lovely coronavirus, we got some not so great updates, especially for us in New Jersey. I mean, all of us live in New Jersey, right? Just in case there's any out-of-state students. You guys, Cam, Jalen, Jake, you're all
Last
in
time I
state.
checked-
I'm in Jersey.
I'm in state.
You're in state,
Yeah.
Cam.
Last time I checked, I'm in the state.
I wasn't sure. Some people do come to Montclair out of state. I mean, it's not many students, but there are some. So I just wanted
A
to
lot of
check.
people come from New York. I was
Yeah,
surprised.
That's true.
It's common. It's very common.
Yeah.
Mm.
My old roommate was from Georgia, so that was
Georgia.
yeah, from Georgia. So I was like, I don't know where people are from. Most of us
Yeah.
are from New Jersey though, and most of us have pretty much lived here our whole lives. Most of the
My
time.
my best friend is actually from Houston, Texas.
Oh, do they live there
Yeah.
now?
No, she's at school right now, but she lives in Texas. So
I was gonna say, Houston.
yeah, it's crazy.
Rough, rough stuff right now.
Mm,
Talked about that
Something
a little
right.
bit last week, but anyways.
Mhm.
Back to New Jersey. Well, more like New York, I should say. There's a new coronavirus variant that has been found in New York City, which, if you know Montclair State University, that's really close to here.
That's
So
Train
right.
ride's like 30 minutes.
yeah, it's like a 30-minute ride, and we do have students on campus who, I mean, I would like to think people aren't going to New York City right now, but I don't know what people are doing. I don't know what people are up to. And, there are probably been some people who, have gone into the city and visited that are on our campus. So, Yeah, so jazzed about this new variant. So no, I'm nervous because apparently the variant is called B.1.526 and it is similar to the strain in South Africa, and
Oh.
experts are worried about the vaccine not being able to fully protect people from these new variants that keep emerging. And so far it hasn't been seen in, as far as yesterday, Governor Phil Murphy reported that we haven't seen this new variant yet in New Jersey. But like we said before, there is a lot of travel between New York and New Jersey. A lot of people commute there for work, commute back and forth. And people just visit in general. A lot of people have family in both places. And even though we're not supposed to be traveling right now, it's it's just we're right next to each other. People are still traveling, not as much as a regular year, but
Yeah.
so hasn't been reported in New Jersey, but honestly, it's probably here. I'm not a scientist,
Yeah.
I can't confirm that, but just living in New Jersey, right next to New York, it's
Yeah.
probably here, or at least it's making its way.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like it's doing something now.
Sorry,
Like
what, could you repeat that?
I feel like there's always something now. Like something's always going on.
Oh
Like
my
we can
God.
never just get a break.
Girl, I hear you. It feels like that, right? Like something keeps coming up. Like this has been nonstop for so long. Stuff just happening.
How did this
How did this
cut you off,
happen?
Leslie. Like
I don't know.
What is going on over there?
What, you mean in New York?
Yes, like what do y'all be doing over there?
I don't understand how variants emerge. Like I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't know how they work.
They mutate. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something.
I don't listen. It's like some Weapon X type nonsense. Like,
Yeah.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah. And it's also a little disheartening because we just,
Yeah, we got
figured
this
out
nice
this
vaccine.
It's
this
like,
whole
yes.
vaccine thing. We just figured it out. People are
Yes.
just starting to get it, and apparently, nearly
not good enough.
2 million people, 2 million vaccines have been distributed in New Jersey alone, and I believe more 50 million or nearly 50 million in the US total.
Find that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little more later on a US scale, but we're seeing an increase of people getting vaccines and a decrease in cases. And then these little variants come along. They're like, hey guys,
Exactly.
what's up?
Yeah.
Hi, more cases.
How's it going?
Right.
I'm not a fan. I want to say goodbye to these variants. It's just worrisome because I feel like we just learned everything about Corona.
Mhm.
We learned everything we could, made
But
vaccines, and now this.
Now it's like, yeah. Welcome to the boss level.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always a twist.
Right.
Then you beat this one. Then you beat this one. It's like, oh yeah, nah, we're just kidding. We have another boss. Like,
This is ridiculous.
You thought that Corona emerging was the boss level, and now it's actually just the variants.
Yeah.
just a
Hopefully they don't pose too much of a they don't mess with the vaccine too much. That's like what I cling on to. Like, oh,
Yeah.
it'll be fine. Like
Yeah.
I'm just telling it to myself and hope I believe it.
Yeah, it's just like these. I mean, this variant is fairly new, right? Like they just reported this. I believe yesterday is when they reported this. So they don't know much about it. They don't know if the vaccine can protect against it or not, or how much. So it's worrisome. It's worrisome to people who haven't gotten, and I also feel like people who have gotten the vaccine are also at risk, even more now than they were before.
Yeah,
feel like-
you might be more emboldened.
Exactly.
You're under the impression that you're good, and it's like, yeah, no, you're not. Hi, how you doing? It's just
Yeah.
like, no.
Do you guys know anyone who got 2 doses of vaccine? Any of you?
Yeah,
Not too.
one of my teammates shout out Pat Tui. He got both vaccines.
Oh wow, that's cool.
No,
Yeah,
my
and-
cousin did testing, so he got the first one. He can get the second.
Oh, nice. Jalen?
My mom actually got both because she's required to get both for work.
Oh.
So
Required? I didn't know they could require people to get it.
yeah, she works at a hotel, so they
Oh.
made her
Wow.
get both doses of the vaccine.
What happens if you refuse to get it? Do they fire you?
I
I
guess.
have no clue.
Probably.
I hope not.
Like, I mean, I can understand why people wouldn't want to get it, you know? I mean,
But it's like, what if you don't want to?
yeah.
Like, it's to force someone to.
Yeah, I don't know if you can force someone to do that, but
That's unconstitutional right there.
yeah,
Mhm.
Well,
it's true.
it's capital.
Yeah.
I'm pretty thankful because both my parents got it. They both work in
Mhm.
industries where they were, eligible to get it, so that's pretty cool. And a few other people I know. My boyfriend's mom, she works in a hospital, so she was able to get it too. And yeah, I don't know. It makes me feel better that even though I haven't like qualified to get it yet, like I'm just a college
Mhm.
student, I'm not working in a hospital, I'm not that special. I can't get it, but some people around me can. And that
Yeah.
and not that is a reason to like put yourself at more risk. Like you should still be just as careful, but it is kind of nice to think like, oh, this person in my life is less likely to get it and you don't have to worry as much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what
that's a huge weight off the shoulders.
Yeah, for sure. And then these variants,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again.
We'll see about those.
Not a fan. But anyways, maybe we should move on to our next story, which is kind of looking at the vaccines at a more national scale. That's the words I was looking for. So our president, Joe Biden, is all smiles. Well, maybe not all smiles because of the
Yeah.
the whole cereal
He just
thing.
kind of on cereal.
Yeah, he's I guess his emotions are probably all over the place. He's probably under a lot of
Mm.
stress, but he is happy about having the first 50 million vaccine doses in his first 5 weeks in office. And as you guys probably recall, he made a goal or a promise or whatever to have 100 million vaccines done within his first 100 days in office. And he's on the right track because he's done 50 million in just 37 days. So he's on the right track.
Yep.
He's pretty happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
We're way
I
ahead of
think-
schedule.
He is the first president in a long time. I remember hearing about this. He's on pace to set to keep his goal from the first 100 days. I think at least the last 4 or 5 presidents, they made 100-day promises and they didn't reach them. But
Mhm.
Joe Biden is the first one in a little bit of time that is actually on pace to reach his goal in 100 days.
Yeah, that could be a part of how I think. At first, to me, his goal sounded a little unrealistic, but to think about it, he probably kind of did the math and calculations
Yeah.
and made a realistic goal for himself so that when he made a promise to the American people, he could actually keep it up. And
Yeah.
for that, I respect him.
Yeah, I'm glad he actually went through with it and did it. So.
Yeah. Not all presidents would, not all leaders would, but
Mm.
it's pretty cool. And he's ahead of schedule too. So not like he underestimated
Yeah.
how many vaccines could get out, but it's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And also what could speed this up is that Johnson & Johnson's vaccine will be undergoing the review of the FDA pretty soon, and it could receive approval as soon as this weekend, and that would mean a third vaccine,
A huge
being
stretch.
available, which
My
it would make
goodness.
a huge difference.
Yeah.
Wow.
And also one other fact about the Johnson & Johnson one that I keep forgetting, but it's really cool, is that you only need one single dose of Johnson & Johnson, which is
So convenient.
yeah, as the
I
other
don't want to do
two,
it twice.
Moderna and Pfizer, you need 2 doses
No
within.
more tears.
What? No more
No-
tears?
No more
Johnson-
tears. I mean, it's inconvenient, but
No-
it's not
no-
that bad.
Listen, all I'll say is this: Johnson & Johnson is known as the
Oh, right.
the shampoo company.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's true.
I probably have something in my room of Johnson & Johnson, but for them to come to the vaccine game and just drop a single dose vaccine, it's like, whoa,
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a little much, right?
it's like, wow, where'd you guys come from?
I'm glad it's only a single dose, but still, I'm kind of scared to take the vaccine.
Oh yeah.
I just, Jay, I agree with you. I just it's just, to me, it's just too fresh.
It's a lot, but yeah.
It's weird, but when I did, not that I get all my information from social media, but I did see something that put in perspective that was useful, is like the vaccine can't hurt you more than if you got COVID.
Oh
So
yeah.
I don't know. It kind of, I don't know. I was like,
And
I was
I
really
also-
nervous before, and
yeah.
that kind of put in perspective. I was like, maybe I should be that scared. You
I
know?
also remember seeing a bunch of memes where it was like, if you like drink Monster Energy, then don't worry about what's in the COVID vaccine.
Exactly. I was
Nah, I see
like,
that too.
Like, and it's
I
just
was
like, yeah, I've
There were
drank. Yeah.
so many memes about that. It would be like,
No,
if
and
you're,
it's honestly true though, because like,
yeah,
there's
you
lots
follow
of
the
crazy
5-second
stuff
rule.
in these stuff.
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, it's just a lot. Like 3 different vaccines. Like I'm just like, I don't know.
Quote from our producer: Red Bull gives you immunity.
Red Bull from the
Well,
vaccine.
No, it doesn't.
Well,
Yeah.
listen.
Penny
Well,
Horn.
listen. I lived in Bone, so I think I'm pretty immune to stuff.
Bowen Hall.
I lived in Bone Hall, so
I heard about
No.
Bone.
For
I
those of you who don't know, Bone Hall is a mostly freshman dorm at Montclair State. That is
freshman only.
Freshmen only.
Freshmen
Oh, I didn't know
only.
that. I thought it was like mostly freshmen.
Mandated chaos.
But it has chaotic energy. Thank
Yeah.
God I never lived there.
Yeah,
if
wow,
you
I
lived,
dodged
if you lived
that.
in Bone,
You're a
I get
survivor.
through any.
yo, you are immune. That's
Yeah.
not a fact, but like I'm just saying,
I agree.
it's not a proven fact. But I'm
Your
just,
immune system has to just be an absolute fighter to just get through it. So
exactly.
But
nothing
yeah,
can
you
hurt
shouldn't
it.
be worried, Cam. You lived in Bone Hall.
Exactly. I think
Yeah.
I'm okay. I think I'm okay.
Not through it
No.
all.
Yeah, you're probably gonna be fine.
Nothing can stop you now.
Nothing at all. Ugh, I loved when those memes came out. I feel like they were just so funny because
That
I
was
was
like the
like,
best propaganda campaign like ever.
not to like joke about Corona, but it was honestly like, it was
makes
funny.
It made
It was
situation.
funny.
It made situation easy
Yeah.
for us all.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was definitely like, I shouldn't be worried about the vaccine. If like all these memes are like kind of true. It's like, oh, if you follow the 5-second rule, you shouldn't be worried about the vaccine. And I was like, huh. But following that kind of my whole life, if you know, generally speaking, should be
Wow.
worried. But
yeah,
yeah,
no, it is important to find humor in the heavy stuff, as our
Oh.
producer says.
for sure. Because I don't know. I don't think we'd be able to keep going if we didn't. You know, this is
Oh no.
like what, almost or more than a year technically of this
Yeah.
pandemic, because
Oh yeah.
it's technically originated in December 2019.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
now
people
it's-
forget that it actually started in 2019, which is like kind of mind blowing.
Yeah. But it was ramping up around now, which is weird to think about.
Yeah, February this time last year is when we pretty much we weren't wearing masks yet, but we were just about to.
It was the
And we
last.
heard about it, but we weren't like.
I think we're hearing about it, and I
Yeah.
think we were given the inkling that it was, oh wait, this is actually coming. And
Yeah.
It might be pretty bad.
Can I give a fun fact real quick?
Sure.
This
excited.
time last year, I was a newscaster for The Buzz, and
So
every
was
week,
I.
oh, true, yay! But every week, I would include a story about Corona because it was just
Yeah.
starting.
It's
and I
weird,
was-
right?
I was so worried about it because at that point it wasn't in the US yet, but every week I would report the numbers and
Mhm.
they would be rising up. And I felt like I was one of the only people noticing because I was watching the numbers. And since I was watching it to newscast every week, I was watching them like every day and I became like really paranoid about it way earlier than everyone else. And I would tell people, I'm like, this is going to be
Wait,
bad. They
wait a
thought I was
second.
crazy.
That's actually
Well,
insane because I went through
wow.
the same process. Like I literally like I had to report on it too. Like I remember reporting on like the Dream Princess and like the cruise ship
Yeah.
and that. And no, I literally went through the same process. I was like, wait a
Yeah.
second, this is actually like it seems pretty bad. And like
Yeah.
looking into it and constantly checking the numbers and
Mhm.
yeah, I remember I was pretty like
It's
I was
so
pretty scared
surreal.
about it before like it kind of became a thing.
Yeah, it's really scary. And it's so funny how we were in the same position because
Yeah.
like I felt like I was telling people, I was literally like, the numbers are rising. It is coming for
Yeah.
us. We are the US. It's gonna come for us. Like people are always traveling in and out of here. And they're like, it's really not that big of a deal. It's gonna stay on that side of the
Yeah,
world.
it's gonna be a
And I was
flu,
like,
it's
come
whatever,
on.
but
I was like,
was
I'm
most
not right
didn't
about
look
many
like it.
things, but I have a feeling.
yeah, there was many stuff that kind of showed, oh, it's not like other
Wow.
girls.
Corona, not like other girls.
Wow.
Back at it with the memes. But anyways, we're gonna take a little bit of break on the buzz. And when we come back, we're gonna focus on some lighter news. We're gonna kick back, relax, or whatever it is you're doing, whatever you want to do. And before we take a break, just a reminder, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Morning Buzz. You're listening to 98.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. I'm Leslie Gallagher, and I'm joined by
Jake Getz.
and
Jalen Davis.
and one more.
Cameron Martin.
Woo! Our virtual studio. You know, it's pretty fun having a virtual studio. I mean, I wish I could see you guys in person, but you know what? It's still fun. We're making it work. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It was a
cool.
blast.
You guys have fun on the buzz, even though you haven't been to the studio IRL.
Well,
Tell us what
besides
it's
being-
like.
Besides being up at like 6 o'clock in the morning every day, well, every Friday, it's it's enjoyable to be on the buzz. I really appreciate the opportunity you guys gave me to let me
Aw,
do this for the first time and just be able to,
yeah.
you know, start my debut of hopefully a successful broadcasting career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I like it a lot. You know, I like interacting with everyone, you know, learning about different news. So that's pretty
For
cool.
sure. It's actually it forces you to stay up to date on the news, which is
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
nice.
cool.
when you're. I mean, I don't know, kind of a college student, you know, who keeps in her bubble, sometimes worried about like homework and stuff. But being a part of the radio station, actually, you know, and especially the Morning Buzz, you know,
Mhm.
makes me stay up to date on the news, like things that I may not know. You know. And
Mhm.
it's
And I don't have a Twitter, so I know like a lot of people get like their news from Twitter, but I
You're not wrong.
I'm one of those
Like-
people.
Yeah, no, a little bit.
yeah,
No, but Twitter is like
there's everything. I don't like I
Nah, but listen, Twitter's too good for. It's too.
no.
It's just out there. There's some things.
Twitter's
There's just some things I can't say about Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it.
no. I don't recommend it to anyone. Like, I don't know. It's like if you're in it, you know,
Mhm.
but like
You
I don't know. I don't recommend it if you're
You
not
gotta find
using
it. You
Like,
gotta find your niche on Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. You could
I feel like this comes. I mean, I don't know if you guys are all communication majors, but in every like communication class, it always comes up about social media being like an outlet for news. I feel like it
Yeah.
comes
Oh,
up
yeah.
all the time.
no,
Yeah.
it's
like-
hot topic.
It is a hot topic, and I feel like you can get news from Twitter, but you
Yeah,
have
no,
to
it's not
fact check
bad.
it. Like you
Yeah,
gotta
oh,
go
yeah.
to your AP
Honestly,
news. You know.
Yeah, it's just about the source. Like if you're getting it
Yeah.
from a Q, then that's no bueno.
yeah.
I mean, TMZ is like, you know, it's not. I'm not gonna say it's, you know, it's the most accurate thing in the world, but you know, it tells stories.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, it's
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah, stories are important. And you know how people can tell stories, you know, in different ways, like through art. Ooh la la. That's a transition for our next story. We're going to be talking about art. Jake, take it away.
Okay, we have a unseen Vincent van Gogh painting of Paris, and it's going on public display for the very first time, 1887. That's a long time ago, 1887. That's like,
For real.
wow.
Isn't that
Uh,
kind of mind blowing that it's
yeah.
been private for that long? Like,
Like,
whoa.
who kept that secret? That's insane.
Let's find
By
out.
Vincent van Gogh has just been revealed to the public for the very first time. Stashed privately in a French family's collection for nearly a century, the world finally gets to see this painting. Set in Paris, it shows people walking through a rural landscape in Montmartre. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
see, that's
French.
why I had you read this section because I didn't know how to say that word.
Oh
so.
yeah, I don't know. I am taking French, so maybe it's like
Marty is too.
Montmartre
Marty
or
is too.
something like that.
Is it might be a French word. So wait, didn't you take French, Jake? Is it
Yeah,
Montmartre? That's bad.
Montmartre. I don't know.
That
That's
sounds
my
about
best
right.
guess.
Sure.
Listen, I took French in high school, but then again, like,
yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I took
yo,
Spanish, y'all. And now I'm in ASL. I'm useless.
Oh man.
Literally
Yeah.
speaking with my hands.
you could probably show me the word, but like I probably won't be able to say it.
I mean, do you want to try? I mean, you know, you have access to our little scripty thing.
Let me give it a shot.
Montmartre.
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, I definitely won't be myself.
That's the name of the city.
Try saying it.
Or rural landscape. I'm sorry. Wait, but it's set in
Montmartre.
Paris. But it says rural landscape. Paris is rural.
Montmartre.
If you look
Oh.
at the painting, it's like a very like rural sort of, I want to say like dirt path if I remember it, and then there's like some kind of like I don't know, like the background is sort of, it looks like not like an abandoned, but it doesn't look like very well kept up, and it looks like there's a windmill in the back, which I think is important to Van Gogh's art. I
Oh
think I
yes.
read about that.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know he had a thing for windmills.
Yeah. No, I think the
This is-
I think it's probably set in a part of Paris, but it was in like, or maybe like somewhere off in Paris. I don't know. The article said something about Paris, but it's also in this. It's if you look at it, it's like rural, and there's these people like walking through. It's really cool. There's so many details to like look through. Anyways,
That's awesome. It could be worth up to 10 million US dollars or 8 million euros.
Oh my god.
I know, right?
And it'll be
College
auctioned
tuition
off
paid.
in late March.
College tuition paid for. Yes, sir.
Man, Van Gogh. Okay, so also one little fun fact about this was that this was painted in 1887. It's predicted that this was about like 3 years before Van Gogh passed too.
Hmm.
So like, it's probably one of his like. It's gonna sound weird because it's from 1887, but it's probably like more recent than maybe his earlier ones. Like, I don't even know if that makes sense because that's not recent at all.
It was one of his last major art pieces.
Right.
Wow.
So, like,
And we didn't know about it until now. I don't even think it has like an official name. Like, I was reading the article and it didn't seem like there was an official name for it. And I think probably because it was just, he probably just sold it to like this French family. And they've just had it.
Let's come up with a name right now. Instead of saying Montmartre, instead of saying that, let's come up with a name right now. We're just gonna call it the Rocky.
What?
The
Rocky.
You're
The
gonna
Rocky.
name Van Gogh's painting?
Yeah, gives you the right.
Well, who do you think you are, Cam?
I am Vincent Van Gogh reincarnated.
That's not even a French name. The Rocky.
Yeah, you
No.
gotta at least be like Petty, you know? I don't know.
Listen, I have to shout out my main man, Rocky. I gotta shout out my main man, Rocky Red Hawk. Come on now.
Oh my gosh.
I thought you meant Rocky like the movie. Wow, I'm slow. It's still morning. I didn't even know you're making reference to Rocky the Rock.
Wow.
Yeah, but if you guys go open up this link and look at this painting. And
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
got
know,
it
just
up right
give it a
now.
look. It's cool.
You know, it's kind of funny. My first instinct was like, this is ugly.
What? Yeah, I mean,
workshop this Van Gogh.
I can kind of see. What
No,
you're saying.
getting a better view of it. No, it's pretty. It's definitely his vibe. It looks a bit more detailed than a lot of the stuff I'm familiar with from him.
Yeah, that was my first thought. Is it looks very detailed, especially like there's like this wooden fence in it.
And also that house in the back.
Yeah, there's like a little house and like a little windmill,
Whoa.
and then something I can't really tell what they are. Like I don't know if it's really important, if that makes sense. Like there's like it looks like there's a little bit of a building in the back next to the house too.
Oh yeah,
and
I see that.
And then there's and like the front-ish of the painting, before like the whole like landscape part.
In the
there's, like,
foreground.
in the foreground. That's
foreground.
the word I was looking for. Thank you. It's there's like two people walking along and they're like really close next to each other, and then like a few steps ahead is like this little
The child.
girl or a child.
Yeah.
And
Can we talk about the green pull-up bar?
yeah, what is that? What is
What's
the
the green
thing?
pull-up bar? Is this child about to do pull-ups?
Yeah, that's also what's
that's the
confusing.
gate
me.
right
I hope
there.
not.
Oh, is that a gate?
Yeah, it might be a gate or
I'm pretty
something.
sure it's a gate.
What's
Yeah,
the
maybe it's
point
an
of-
entrance to the house, but it
Yeah, it's like
it does look like a pull-up bar though, so I see what you're saying there. And also
Yeah,
looks like
Maybe,
it looks like the girl's carrying like a little basket. I don't know.
yeah.
yeah.
It's cute though.
Maybe it's because it might be for the reason why it's unseen. It might be a private painting for the family.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Wow. It's so, isn't it like so surreal to think this was painted
Yeah.
in 1887 and it's now worth
Yeah.
or almost nearly 10 million. More accurately, CNN said it was more like 9.7 million. It could be up to that. And like to think back to this was painted in 1887, where that was like an unthinkable amount of money. I mean, today it still is, but you know, he probably wasn't
Yeah.
thinking about how much this would be worth in
Mhm.
2021. Like, I don't know, it's just so surreal
yeah.
to me.
He just did it for the love of
Mhm.
art.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
Alrighty,
Yeah,
well,
it's like that one
anyway,
episode of Doctor Who.
I would laugh more, but I don't watch Doctor Who, so
Aw.
reference missed. But anyways,
what she said. What she said.
hopefully, if any of you are at home listening to this right now, hopefully
Yeah.
you are accompanied by a cat, because I don't know about you guys, but I love cats, and our next story is about cats. Maybe it's just me. I love cats. I'm not
Cats.
I'm not ashamed of it either.
I'm a dog guy, so
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I like cats and dogs equally.
Yeah, no, I like dogs too, but it's just like cats are I love cats. Okay, anyways. So there's this man named Charlie, didn't want his last name to be said in this article. This man named Charlie, he 15 years ago, and for perspective, I was 4 at the time, and now I'm here. So 15 years ago, he lost his cat. She was just a little kitten at the time, so it was like a fairly new adoption, and he had let his cat go into the backyard, and I think this is like a normal thing, like this is like a routine they had. And when he was needed to get her for dinner, he called the cat back in and tried to find her, and she was gone.
Huh?
And he never found her until now. Isn't that crazy? But
I didn't even know you could let cats outside. I
Yeah,
thought they
yeah. Yeah, no, there's indoor cats and there's outdoor cats, and you can
Okay.
choose if you want. You can have your, you know, cat go outdoors, and they'll probably bring back some mice or whatever. Or, you know, they kind of explore and then they come back. A lot of people are pretty relaxed about their cats like that. They'd have them go in and out. I'm kind of the
Mhm.
opposite. Like, me and my family are very strict about, you know, indoor cats, because
Mm.
at this point my cats are 5 years old now, and if they were
Yeah.
let into the wild, they would not survive. Like, we cut their own nails for them, we give them food and water, like they wouldn't know what to do. But a lot of
Yeah.
people do have outdoor cats,
Mhm.
and you know it's not always the safest thing. They could be, you know, attacked by bigger animals, they could get lost, they could get, you know, hit by a car, unfortunately. And that's what was going through, you know, Charlie's mind when he didn't see this cat, and he was looking for it with flyers and calling local animal shelters. And at some point he just had to, you know, move on with his life, and he thought this cat had passed away. But
Mhm.
recently an animal shelter actually called him up and found this cat through a microchip. I think they came across the cat, someone probably brought it to the shelter, and it had a chip in it. And the thing about it is, if you have like a chip in your cat to like locate it, is like, I don't think you can actually access it yourself, only like your animal shelter or like the company could do that. So I think, you know, once the cat was lost, it was probably out of his hands, but someone else found this cat again, like 15 years later, and they were able to, you know, through the microchip, access the owner. And that's like I think of his phone number was like connected or on it, like almost like how a dog has like a collar with like the owner's phone number, kind of like that, but like a microchip. So they're able to call him and get him reunited with his cat. So
Wow.
That's
15 years later, that's a long
That
time.
is a
Yeah.
while. They got a lot of catching up to do. That's kind
Yeah.
of crazy how there was a chip in the cat and they didn't use that to find the cat when it was initially lost.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
think he could
crazy.
have like asked the shelter, like, "Hey, did you chip my cat so you could locate my cat?" And they could have been like, "Okay."
Yeah, that was one of the first things you would think of. Like, you couldn't just like go to the shelter. I don't know the rules and all that. I don't know the process, but like,
yeah, I think he checked all the shelters at the time, but the cat was like nowhere to be found.
Yeah, like what was the cat doing the whole time?
We have
Chill.
no idea. I don't think
Chilling.
we'll
He's
never
vibing.
know.
Chilling.
He was vibing.
In the
Actually,
world.
to actually give some more information, the cat was extremely malnourished, and at
Really?
15 years old only weighed 6 pounds. And if you don't know anything
Oh,
about cats,
no.
that's very bad.
Yeah.
Same weight as it was when it was a kitten, which, you know,
Oh my
cats, I think on average, like a healthy weight is like around 10 pounds,
Mhm.
and it only weighed 6. And, you know, you know, 4 pound difference isn't much if you're like a human, but like if you're like a cat, that's like a
That's-
lot. That's a big difference.
Mm.
So
Probably like what, 40 pounds in human terms?
probably, I have no idea, but it's
I'm guesstimating.
I don't know enough about that, but I do know that it is a big difference. And also something sad about this cat is that its nails had grown so long that it started to wound her little paws. So her paws
Aw.
were slightly wounded when they found her too. But
Man.
now she's back in good care. Thank the
Oh,
Lord.
good.
She's gonna get all the love. She's gonna get all the love. She 15 years missed out. She's gonna definitely get the love and the tender love and care that she needs. So
Exactly.
it's always a good thing to see.
Yeah, and it's like one of those heartwarming stories. And you know, I love those good news stories, especially when they involve cats, because it's just so sweet. You know, like I feel
Mhm.
bad that this cat was alone for 15 years and that happened. But honestly, I mean, I wonder if he'll ever let her go into the backyard again. I feel like I'd have trust issues with my cat.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would too.
No.
Never letting you out of my sight, cat. You stay in your
Yeah.
bed. I'd be
Yeah.
worried. But anyways, we're gonna move on to some entertainment updates with Trevor Joya. I'm always scared I'm gonna say your name wrong, Trevor, but I don't think I have in a couple weeks, so I think we're okay.
No, it's like Goya, but Joya.
I know. I get in my
Yeah.
head because I thought it was Joya, or sorry, I thought it was Goya for so
No.
long, and now I just get confused.
So obviously we have some big news this week, even though it's small stuff. I want to save the biggest piece of news for, but the one piece of news. Deadline reports that the Avatar: Last Airbender franchise is launching with the animated theatrical film with the original creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender. There is no set date of when this movie will be released, but they are working on it. So the original creators of Avatar: Last Airbender are coming back to do a theatrical film.
Wait a second. Is this something different from the remake, the live action remake
Yeah,
of the show?
it's completely different. It's
Oh
going
my god. I don't know.
Thank you. No,
This
that
might be an
was-
unpopular opinion, but I, for one, I love the show Avatar. I think it's
Yeah.
a good show.
I
But-
don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I feel like I always
No,
hear
no,
people
no, no, no,
talk-
no, no. That's
He's-
not the
he's
unpopular
getting to it.
opinion.
He's
That was a
getting to it.
preface. That was
Oh.
a
He's
preface
getting
to
to
the
it.
unpopular
He's
opinion.
getting to it. Here
My
we go.
bad.
I don't want any
My
more
bad.
Avatar content. I'm
Really?
content
Yeah.
with what we have.
There it
I don't
is.
think we should make any more.
Yeah, just like
Korra isn't good. The movie wasn't good. Nothing they make is gonna be good. No, like I'm sorry to all the Korra fans, but it was a bad show.
Mhm.
It's
Like,
Oh my
Like-
god.
yeah, I didn't have a problem with Korra. I thought Korra was chill, but like at the same time, the way how the story ended was like it was cool. It was cool to end the story like that. The original series is cool. Don't do anything. Don't touch it. Don't jack anything up.
Mhm.
There's a reason why it came back. As
Patrick
a,
and Kenny.
there's a reason why it just came back because it's like, yeah, you know what? It left a bad taste in our mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be good.
So wait, you're afraid of them making more content around Avatar because you're afraid it
guess it
won't be
doesn't-
good?
You-
You're afraid of
It-
being
it's-
disappointed?
It's like
Yes.
the idea. I know
Me,
exactly what he's talking about. It's this idea of content fatigue, and this idea of being worn out by the content that you see on screen. I can feel that.
It does make sense.
Yeah. The minor news is the fact that the Twilight Zone series on CBS All Access has ended as just 2 seasons, which is hilarious to me, which has just proved the point that the Twilight Zone reboot was terrible and was a terrible idea from the start. Just trying to be like a version of almost like Black Mirror almost, but trying
Ah.
so hard to be like that version of that show, but can't
Right.
exactly have that same mentality.
Yeah.
The one with Jordan Peele, that's the one that just ended, and it's
Aw.
it's
I like
sad.
Jordan Peele.
It's sad, but it's also understandable because I don't think it was as good as they wanted it to be.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't hear a lot of buzz around it.
No,
Do you think the pandemic had anything to do with that?
it was also a very costly
Maybe.
show from what I heard.
Yeah.
Like really costly. Like not even like just expensive, it was just really costly.
Mm.
But this week we got the biggest piece of news possible. Spider-Man 3 got the official title.
Home Slice.
Ooh.
So it's not
wait.
Home Slice. It's not Home Slice. Home Slice. Somebody made it. The official title is Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Oh boy.
Wait, didn't they
So
make that movie already?
no. So
Oh.
I can't say everything that I know about the movie because it would go into spoiler territory.
Mm.
Because there's a bunch of rumors that it's going to involve certain characters from the Spider-Man universe being brought back into light.
Tom Holland. Just
No, not that.
No,
not
like
that.
the other ones. Like
No.
Andrew
no.
Garfield.
I'm saying like you're spoiled. Don't be
It-
Tom Holland. Don't be Tom
I-
Holland. Don't spoil it.
Oh my god.
I don't
right.
want to say anything else about it,
Okie
but
doke.
it's just going to get good. It is going to
Oh,
be
yeah,
the
it's
best
always-
Christmas thing for the hardcore early 2000s fans like me who grew up with a certain Spider-Man, and another group who grew up with another version of Spider-Man, and another group that grew up with this version of Spider-Man.
Personally, I enjoyed Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man
Mhm.
portrayal because that's what I grew up with. That was like really one of the first superheroes I saw. So like I always had an appreciation for Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man.
I feel like
What was
movies
it?
from that area were really like fun and campy too. So I
So
feel like
the
I don't know.
So the thing is, now we're getting WandaVision is going to lead into Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Don't spoil it.
Done.
I gotta watch an episode. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is going to lead into Spider-Man No Way Home.
I'm looking forward. I am so looking forward to it.
So each movie is going to start interconnecting this idea of the bigger universe and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited about it because it means that on Christmas Day we're going to get a really intense Spider-Man movie.
Wow.
We could also get the fact that in the last movie we saw him as a fugitive on the run, Peter Parker. So he's
Yeah.
going to be on the run. So he's going to be completely on his own. And this is what I find so fascinating about this. It's going to be a really intense movie.
Yeah.
And I'm just so pumped up because I'm like, this is going to be intense. It's going to explore themes that I don't think we've ever seen in a Spider-Man movie in a while.
Is Spider-Man like your favorite superhero out of the whole universe, Trevor?
No, personally, like he's not my favorite. My favorite is Moon Knight, and we're getting a TV show with him. And
Moon Knight. That's good. I'm so happy for Moon Knight.
Moon Knight is like the best character of all time
I never heard of him.
because he's so
Yeah, same.
underrated. He's so underrated that he's basically like only hardcore Marvel fans really know what he's like. And
Has he had movies about him, or
he's a
or-
character that
Like one.
one?
None.
Back in the,
None?
I thought he had
None.
one. I thought he
None.
had one like the 90s. Oh, that's Blade.
No, it's Blade. So
Wow.
Moon Knight is a character that has multiple personality disorder.
Oh.
You mean
Mm.
dissociative identity disorder?
Yeah, dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah, they
And
they
he
changed
bel-
the name for it
Yeah.
like
He
2 years
believes-
ago.
He believes that he gets his powers from the Egyptian moon god Khonshu.
Whoa.
So he thinks he's like really powerful and stuff, but he's absolutely insane at the same time.
Oh, but
So
That's
he is
pretty
a
interesting.
superhero.
but you don't know if he's all the stuff that he's making up is true or not.
Oh,
Or
okay.
it's like all in his head and stuff.
So like an unreliable character type, like where you don't really
Yeah.
know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's cool. But
Wait, so he has a show?
No, it's not. People with that disorder are not insane, but it's just more like it explores this idea of his personalities being different personalities and different versions of him.
Mhm.
And like you have the different versions of him that basically that this is mercenary character, the billionaire. Like
Mhm.
he's kind of like the version of Batman if Batman was a little bit more interested in like having Egyptian iconography and stuff.
Yeah, that
And
makes
so
sense.
and so the upcoming show is kind of based around that idea, and I can't wait to watch it.
So, do you know any more about the show? Like, when is it coming out
It's-
soon?
It's going to star Oscar Isaac supposedly,
Oh,
and we know the fact that it's going to be done by an Egyptian director.
oh, that's
Nice.
awesome. Get
So
that
we're gonna
accurate history in there, hopefully.
so we're gonna have an Egyptian director actually directing it, and it's going to explore themes of that stuff. So I can't wait to watch it.
Just the whole culture aspect.
Yeah.
I'm looking. That's the most exciting part to me.
Yeah, that's going to be very fascinating to watch on Disney Plus when it comes out.
I'm glad they're having that representation of a Egyptian director in there, so you can
Yeah.
at least get that accurate like culture and history. Because if that's a big part of Moonlight's character, I already forgot the name. Moonlight.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Oh
Yes,
my bad.
Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes,
I'm not
like
a big
how
superhero
the moon
person.
happens on the night. You know? Yeah, it's like
Jake's
that.
breaking it down for me. Moon Knight, not Moonlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie though.
There's going to be more shows like that. There's going to be more upcoming Disney Plus shows that are going to be more compelling
Yeah.
for Marvel.
Alrighty, so Moon Knight is Trevor's favorite superhero. What about you, Cam?
I'm a big Captain America guy.
Captain America, really?
Yeah.
That is an interesting choice.
His morals. I always like. I appreciate his morals and just like the way how he is, how he conducted himself. And besides, it's like me loving Marvel as a kid. Just seeing him, he was like one of the first action figures I ever owned. So it's like I kind of grew up having Captain America. A close second would probably be Iron Man, just because how Robert Downey Jr. portrayed him. But really, just like Captain America, just seeing him overall I could see myself as Captain America, and him, Chris Evans, he killed the role too. So like,
Oh yeah, Chris Evans.
Yeah.
He's always killing it. What about you, Jake? You have a favorite?
No.
No?
I know. I'm awful.
No, that's fine. I mean, like, I'm not super into superheroes, so I don't know a lot about them. But from what I do know, I do like Spider-Man. He seems pretty cool. I've seen half of a Spider-Man movie, and I couldn't even tell you which one. But I found it interesting, so I'm going with that. Do you have a favorite, Jalen?
Well, I don't want you guys to laugh at me, but
We already laughed at Cam. It's fine.
Yeah.
Black Panther count? Is that a superhero?
Black Panther?
Doesn't that count as a superhero?
Totally.
Yeah, he's
unambiguously.
he's a superhero. He's going to be awesome.
100%.
Yeah.
That definitely counts.
Yeah, no, it was great. That was a good movie too. That was like one of the highlights from my.
It was long, but it was good.
Like, it was really good and really compelling, and I can't wait to see what they do for the second movie.
Yeah.
That's every Marvel movie though. They just got longer and longer.
It's true. I feel like that is a pattern over time. But anyways, we're unfortunately out of time today on the Morning Buzz. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And make sure you tune in on Monday, again, 8 to 9 a.m. And our hosts that day are Lewis and Kyle. So be sure to check it out. And always keep up to date on your news. And have a happy Friday.